They didn't set out to be gay icons. They were just trying to sing, smile, and maybe survive a duet with a CGI animal. But somewhere between the perfectly gelled hair and Disney-approved love interests, these stars started giving us something gayer. And the internet noticed. In this episode of Rainbow Spotlight, we're counting down 5 Disney guys who accidentally stepped into queer legend territory. They didn't come out for clout. They didn't force a moment. They just existed, with way too much softness, style, or something for the straights to handle. Some came out after Disney. Some never had to say a word. But all of them claimed by the culture. Where are you watching from? Drop your country in the comments. Let's see how far Disney gay energy has traveled. Ken Yaman, the wild-bearded fantasy. Some men are handsome. Ken Yaman is mythic. Born in Istanbul, this Turkish heartthrob isn't just an actor. He's a force of nature. He looks like he was carved from marble and then brought to life by sunlight. His jawline could cut glass, his eyes smolder with danger, and his beard alone could start a revolution in desire. Before Hollywood ever caught his name, Turkey had already crowned him a god of television. Every series he touched, Erkanci Kuş, Bay Yanlış, became a phenomenon, not because of the scripts, but because audiences couldn't look away from him. On screen, he doesn't just act. He commands, seduces, consumes the frame. Every gesture says, I know what you're thinking. What sets Ken apart isn't just the body. Though his physique deserves its own worship, it's the way he moves. Confident, slow, deliberate. Like a man who knows the room bends around him. His masculine energy isn't aggressive. It's patient, controlled, dangerous in the quiet way thunder waits before it strikes. He's the perfect paradox. Hyper-masculine yet elegant. Powerful yet calm. The kind of man who wears a suit like armor and a smile like a secret. That duality is what the LGBTQ+ community finds irresistible. He embodies the fantasy of strength that doesn't fear softness. He shows that dominance can coexist with grace. Off-screen Ken is as fascinating as his characters. He studied law before acting, speaks multiple languages, and carries himself with the polish of someone who knows both intellect and physicality are tools of seduction. His Instagram is a visual playground of sculpted abs, Mediterranean sunsets, and perfectly tailored outfits, a masterclass in curated desire. In interviews, he's thoughtful and unapologetic. He talks about discipline, passion, ambition, the foundations of his success. But there's always something unspoken beneath his calm. An awareness that the world sees him as an object of fantasy, and that he doesn't mind playing the role. He owns it, not arrogantly, but as someone who understands beauty as both gift and burden. The queer community, especially across Europe and the Middle East, has embraced him as one of its ultimate thirst icons. He's not labeled, not boxed in, not performing identity politics, just existing in a way that feels magnetic, open, untamed. His brand of sex appeal transcends orientation. It's the universal language of allure. Ken Yaman doesn't chase attention. He attracts it with gravity, with presence, with heat that feels both ancient and modern. He's the man you shouldn't want, but can't help craving. The fantasy you see once and then everywhere. The reason silence suddenly feels like breathing too hard. Ken Yaman isn't just sexy. He's the definition of irresistible danger made human. Joshua Bassett, the ballad boy who came out by simply existing. Joshua Bassett didn't crash into queer icon status with a viral post or big media announcement. He just existed. Sang too beautifully, smiled too softly, looked a little too long at his male co-stars. And then, with a single offhand comment, he confirmed what the internet had already felt. This boy was not for the straights alone. He rose to fame through High School Musical, the musical, the series, playing Ricky, the emotional, slightly awkward guitar-playing romantic lead. And unlike the overconfident jocks we were used to, Ricky was soft, vulnerable, kind of lost. And Joshua wasn't acting. That sensitivity was real, and queer audiences picked up on it instantly. Then came the moment. In 2021, during a casual interview, Joshua gushed about Harry Styles. "He's hot, you know. This is also my coming out video, I guess." Delivered with a grin and zero hesitation. Just like that, Joshua came out. Not in a press release, not in a Netflix doc, but mid-interview like it was no big deal. Because for him, maybe it wasn't. And that is what made him iconic. There was no dramatic arc, no rainbow confetti, just a Gen Z kid speaking casually about attraction, identity, and fluidity with the kind of ease that made older generations stop in their tracks. His coming out felt less like a statement and more like an invitation for softness, for honesty, for freedom. But Joshua didn't stop at the label. He lives the energy. His songs are painfully tender, full of unspoken longing, blurred pronouns, and heartbreak that feels genderless. Tracks like Lie, Lie, Lie or Set Me Free hit different once you know the full story. He's not writing for a demographic. He's writing from experience, and that's what makes it hit harder. He's not flashy. He doesn't thirst trap, but he knows how to show emotion. And in a digital landscape full of posturing and polish, that kind of openness is rare and magnetic. Even through internet drama, relationship speculation, and fan wars, Joshua has kept his cool. No clapbacks, no oversharing, just consistent growth, soft boy confidence, and a kind of calm that queer youth look at and think, if he's okay being like this, maybe I am too. In many ways, Joshua became a gay icon, not because he declared himself one, but because the culture saw him, claimed him, and said, "You're one of us." And he never flinched. Drop a one if Joshua Bassett's smile ever made you question everything, or if his lyrics hit just a little too close. We're all in the same boat here. Garrett Clayton, the beach boy who surfed straight into queer icon status. Garrett Clayton was born to be a Disney star. At least that's what it looked like. With that jawline, bright smile, and throwback Hollywood charm, he checked every box on the teen dream list. When he starred in Teen Beach Movie in 2013, he wasn't just another actor. He became the guy, the heartthrob, the shirtless surfer singing in perfectly choreographed chaos. He was marketed as the new Zac Efron, all charisma and clean energy, spinning into every dance number with hair that refused to move. And yet, the gays knew. There was something in his movement, his expressiveness, his overachieving commitment to camp, the way he sold every wink and shoulder shimmy like his life depended on it. Gay Twitter didn't need confirmation. We just needed receipts. But at the time, Garrett wasn't out. Like so many others inside the Disney system, he kept his identity quiet. Behind the scenes, though, he was in a committed relationship with his now husband Blake Knight. And while Disney gave him surfboards and squeaky clean scripts, Garrett was quietly building the courage to live truthfully, on his own terms. That moment finally came in 2018 when Garrett posted a heartfelt message on Instagram celebrating his relationship and officially coming out to the world. No press release, no People magazine cover, just a post, just love. And fans, especially queer fans, felt every word. What made it iconic wasn't just the reveal, it was the tone. He wasn't asking for attention. He wasn't breaking down. He was celebrating, unapologetically. He wasn't just out. He was grounded, joyful, and ready to thrive. And then he went further. Instead of fading into quiet domesticity, Garrett leaned into his queerness on screen. He starred in King Cobra, playing a gay adult film star in a dark, gritty indie drama that could not have been further from Disney Channel. He took back control of his narrative, showing the world he could be messy, sexual, complex, and still lovable. He also became a fierce advocate for young queer people in Hollywood, publicly speaking about how he was warned that coming out would destroy his career. Spoiler, it didn't. If anything, Garrett became more iconic. Now he's married, thriving, and still stealing red carpets with gender-fluid fashion and husband-included selfies. He's not trying to be anyone's role model. He just is, because he survived the closet, survived the industry, and still shows up with a wink and a smirk. Garrett Clayton didn't just become a gay icon, he became a blueprint for what it means to hold space for joy, camp, and complexity all at once. Drop a 3 if you ever rewatch Teen Beach Movie. But this time, knowing exactly why Garrett's hips had you confused. You're not alone. Dylan Geick, the poet wrestler who became queer royalty. Without even trying, Dylan Geick is proof that you don't need to wear mouse ears or belt a ballad to become a Disney-adjacent gay icon. You just have to break every stereotype the system ever pushed. Though not a Disney actor in the traditional sense, Dylan's story became a cultural moment for a generation of queer kids who grew up watching Disney, but didn't always see themselves in it. He first gained attention as a high school wrestling champion, who also happened to be unapologetically gay and unapologetically poetic. Yes, poetic. While throwing opponents to the mat, Dylan was also writing vulnerable prose, posting shirtless selfies, and dismantling toxic masculinity in real time on Instagram, Medium, YouTube, and eventually TikTok. For queer youth raised on the stiff, polished masculinity of Disney princes, Dylan was like watching the script flip in real life. He wasn't Disney approved, he was real. Loud, proud, intellectual, emotional, hot, dangerous. And the internet noticed. He racked up followers not just for his body, though, let's be honest, that helped, but for his brain. His writing, raw and honest, touched on love, shame, sex, identity, and longing. His videos ranged from moody vlogs to chaotic gym clips to half-naked readings of original poetry. He was giving Walt Whitman by way of thirst trap, and people couldn't get enough. What made Dylan such an icon to Disney-raised Gen Z wasn't that he tried to rebel against the system. He simply wasn't part of it. And yet, he became everything it refused to show. A gay boy who could be tender and strong, sexy and smart, athletic and artistic. He embodied the kind of character Disney never had the guts to write, but desperately needed. Dylan also showed what coming out could look like without apology. No drama, no moment. Just living visibly, even in spaces where visibility was rare, like wrestling mats and locker rooms. Even after stepping back from social media for a while, his legacy remains. To this day, his old posts are reblogged, his TikToks are stitched, and his poetry is quoted in comment sections by fans who grew up watching him show a different way to be gay. He may not have had a Disney contract, but Dylan Geick became a queer icon to the same audience because he broke the mold they were raised in. Drop a 5 if Dylan ever made you feel stronger just by being soft. And if his videos ever left you questioning, why is this workout video making me feel things? Frankie A. Rodriguez, the Disney first who never felt like a token. Frankie A. Rodriguez didn't just make Disney history, he made it adorable. As Carlos on High School Musical, the musical. The series, Frankie played Disney's first openly gay teen character in a leading role. And instead of turning that into a heavy-handed statement, he brought sparkle, confidence, and just the right amount of sass to make it feel like joy. From the first time Carlos strutted into the frame in a perfectly coordinated outfit and delivered a one-liner that landed, queer viewers knew what time it was. He wasn't the sidekick. He wasn't the comic relief. He was the moment, with a storyline, a boyfriend, a prom, and emotional depth. It felt effortless, natural, like it should have always been this way. And the wildest part? Frankie didn't just play that character, he lived it. Openly gay from the start of his career, he brought his full self into a space where Disney stars before him had often been forced to hide. He wasn't outed by tabloids or forced into a coming-out arc. He entered the spotlight out and proud, and still managed to play one of the most lovable, relatable characters in the franchise. It wasn't about breaking barriers for Frankie. It was about showing up and shining. That quiet revolution of not making a big deal out of being himself hit deeper than any press campaign ever could. And for young viewers, especially queer Latinx fans, seeing someone like Frankie on screen meant one powerful thing: they finally saw themselves. His chemistry with co-star Joe Serafini, who played Seb, Carlos's on-screen and off-screen boyfriend, brought an extra layer of magic. They didn't need angst or tragedy. Their love story was soft, musical, high school sweet, and absolutely swoon-worthy. It wasn't about tolerance or acceptance. It was about belonging. And in a franchise like HSM, which shaped a generation's idea of love and popularity, that kind of representation? Monumental. But even beyond the show, Frankie gives icon energy in real life. From red carpet looks that scream Gen Z glam to unapologetic humor on socials, he's part activist, part performer, and part your favorite cousin who always knows the drama before it hits Twitter. Charming, quick, real. He may not have the thirst trap aesthetic, but make no mistake, Frankie A. Rodriguez is a gay icon in the most modern sense. Open, joyful, talented, and fully beautifully himself in a space that never used to make room. Drop a 2 if Frankie ever made you feel like being loud, proud, and stylishly dramatic is not just okay, it's iconic. Luke Evans, the Disney villain who quietly became a gay power symbol. Luke Evans never asked to be your gay icon. He just showed up, sang in perfect pitch, flexed his jawline as Gaston, and left the internet deeply conflicted. In Disney's 2017 live-action Beauty and the Beast, Luke played the arrogant, hyper-masculine villain we all love to hate and low-key wanted to date. The leather, the boots, the bravado, it gave. But what made it hit even harder? Knowing that behind the smirk, Gaston was being played by a real-life out-and-proud gay man. Luke came out in the early 2000s, well before it was trendy or safe. He never made a spectacle of it, just stated it plainly in interviews, then moved on. No rainbow banners, no viral declarations, just truth. That quiet confidence became his signature and his superpower. Unlike many closeted stars who play it ambiguous or no labels, Luke's always been matter-of-fact about who he is, and he never let being gay define the roles he could take. He played warriors, villains, detectives, and yes, Disney icons without ever hiding. And that, revolutionary. Because for decades, Hollywood sent a clear message. Gay men could play the best friend, the comic relief, the tragedy, but never the leading man, never the power player. Luke Evans flipped that script by simply existing as he is and still commanding every scene he entered. He brought visibility not by preaching, but by performing, brilliantly. Whether belting baritone in a tavern full of fawning men or seducing cameras on red carpets and tailored suits, Luke gave the world a different kind of gay presence, strong, grounded, masculine, and undeniably magnetic. And let's be honest, he made Gaston iconic in a whole new way. Fans weren't just watching a villain. They were watching a gay man reclaim a character who was once cartoonishly toxic and make him weirdly hot. Luke's brand of icon status isn't based on camp or chaos. It's about stability, style, and the quiet boldness of showing up exactly as you are. He represents the gay man who's past survival mode, who's just living, thriving, aging gracefully, and still somehow getting hotter. Off-screen, Luke continues to show up for LGBTQ+ causes, posts about his boyfriend without fanfare, and lives like a man who's not hiding from anything. That in itself is powerful, especially for young queer viewers seeing someone not just survive Disney, but come out the other side stronger. He didn't need to be loud to be visible, didn't need to perform queerness to validate it. He just needed to be Luke, talented, sexy, grounded, and gay. Drop a 4 if Luke Evans ever made you realize villains can be more than hot. They can be heroes in disguise. They didn't audition for gay icon status. They just showed up with softness, style, strength, and something the queer internet could feel from a mile away. From ballad boys to surf kings, from theater gays to unexpected villains, these stars reminded us that queerness doesn't always arrive with a grand reveal. Sometimes it just lives in the details. And whether they came out loudly or quietly, whether they led musicals or rewrote masculinity, they gave us pieces of ourselves in places we never thought we'd see them. So now it's your turn. Which one surprised you most? Which one lives rent-free in your heart? Drop a number 1 to 5 in the comments and tell us why. This is Rainbow Spotlight. See you next time. Same screen, new icons.